Hello, everyone, and welcome to this guided podcast lesson on de-individuation, one of the key social psychological explanations of aggression in your A-level psychology course. By the end of this session, you should be able to define de-individuation and explain how it increases aggression. Apply the theory to real-world examples, such as the London riots and football hooliganism. Evaluate the theory using classic research and key methodological points. You'll need your worksheet in front of you. Please pause the recording whenever you need extra time to complete a task. Section A. AO1. Description. Let's start with the basics. What is de-individuation? Look at Task 1, your gap fill activity. De-individuation is a psychological state that promotes higher levels of aggression as a result of a loss of personal identity. When individuals become part of a crowd, they feel less responsible for their behavior. Responsibility becomes shared throughout the group, and people feel less guilt for their actions. Pause here for 20 seconds for students to complete tasks. Now move on to Task 2, where we look at the three key theorists. Le Bon was one of the first to describe crowd behavior. He believed that people in crowds lose their sense of self and responsibility, becoming irrational and potentially violent. Zimbardo built on this idea, arguing that de-individuation leads to a loss of self-awareness and therefore more emotional, impulsive behavior. Andina identified 4 factors that increase de-individuation: anonymity, group size, and arousal, and altered consciousness. Match each theorist to their correct description now. Pause here for 30 seconds. Turn to Task 3, which focuses on those 4 situational factors. I'll summarize them for you. Anonymity. When people can't be identified, for example by wearing masks or hoods, accountability is reduced and inhibition drops. Group size. The larger the group, the more responsibility is shared, and the less personal guilt is felt. Arousal. Strong emotions like anger or excitement heighten impulsivity. Altered consciousness. Substances such as alcohol or extreme emotional states lower rational thinking and control. Pause for 20 seconds for students to complete. Before we move on, let's check your understanding with Task 4, the short answer questions. Self-awareness means being aware of your own behavior in relation to norms. Public self-awareness is awareness of how others see you, while private self-awareness is your internal moral compass. When self-awareness is reduced, people are less likely to feel guilt or shame, so aggression increases. A typical example might be vandalizing property during a protest when hidden within a crowd. Take a moment to add anything you missed. Brief pause. Short transition music. Fade in, out. Section B, AO2, Application. Now that you understand what de-individuation is, let's apply it to real-world behavior. Open Task 5, the London riots activity. You'll see a paragraph with missing information. Listen and fill in the gaps as I read. The rioters acted aggressively because they were experiencing increased arousal due to the death of Mark Duggan and anger towards police actions. They had an external focus on seeking justice and looting property and felt strong group anger toward the police. Many were wearing hoodies and face coverings, which created anonymity and lowered self-awareness. As a result, they stopped taking personal responsibility and showed a disregard for laws and social norms. Pause for 20 seconds while students fill in blanks. Let's move on to Task 6, the short answer application. Question 1. How did anonymity contribute to aggression? When people felt unidentifiable, fear of being caught disappeared, which reduced inhibition. Question 2. 2 situational factors increasing de-individuation: large group size and high emotional arousal. Question 3. How did shared responsibility escalate the riots? As guilt spread across the crowd, individuals felt justified joining in, fueling the violence. Brief pause for writing. Now open Task 7, the football violence scenario. Imagine a crowd of fans throwing bottles after a loss. Most wear scarves or masks. Using de-individuation, anonymity made them feel untraceable. Group unity and emotional arousal intensified aggression. To prevent this, reduce anonymity, for instance, with CCTV, ID checks, better lighting, and alcohol control. Pause for students to complete Task 7. Transition music, light tone for 3 seconds. Section C, AO3, Evaluation. Now we move into the evaluation section. Open Task 8, the evidence table. We'll go through each study together. Zimbardo, 1969. Female students delivered shocks to a Confederate. Those wearing hoods and lab coats gave stronger shocks than those wearing name tags. Supports the idea that anonymity and reduced self-awareness increase aggression. Johnson and Downing, 1979. 3 groups: K, costumes, nurse uniforms, or normal clothes. The KKK group was most aggressive. The nurses were least. De-individuation amplifies existing group norms. It doesn't always cause aggression. Watson, 1973. Cross-cultural study of 23 warrior tribes. Warriors who wore masks or paint were more likely to torture or kill enemies. Anonymity promotes violent behavior across cultures. Mullen, 1986, analyzed 60 lynchings from newspaper reports. Larger mobs committed more savage killings. Larger group size intensifies de-individuation and aggression. Pause for students to complete their table. Now for Task 9, Methodological Evaluation. For example, Mullen's research was non-experimental. He couldn't control variables like cultural attitudes or media bias, so we can't infer cause and effect. In contrast, Zimbardo's study had strong control but low ecological validity. Delivering shocks in a lab isn't the same as real-world aggression. Add 2 short points for your chosen study. Pause 15 seconds. Let's move to Task 10, your paragraph building exercise. Follow along and then expand in your notes. A. Supporting evidence. Research by Zimbardo, 1969, supports de-individuation. Participants who were anonymous delivered stronger shocks, suggesting that loss of personal identity reduces inhibition and increases aggression. B. Contradictory evidence. However, Johnson and Downing, 1979, found that nurses were less aggressive, implying that de-individuation amplifies group norms, not just antisocial behavior. C. Real-world applications. Understanding de-individuation can help reduce crowd violence. Increasing visibility and accountability through lighting and surveillance reduces anonymity, with practical benefits for policing and event management. Pause 20 seconds for writing. Now open Task 11, the Issues and Debates table. Here are examples you can use. Nature versus nurture. De-individuation lies on the nurture side. Behavior is shaped by the social environment, not biology. Determinism versus free will. It's situationally deterministic. External factors like crowd size or anonymity influence behavior. Ethical implications. Viewing aggression as situational could excuse harmful acts, raising concerns about accountability. Pause 15 seconds. Finally, Task 12, your exam-style essay question. Discuss de-individuation as a social, psychological explanation of aggression. Plan it like this: AO1, 6 marks. Describe the theory. Loss of self-identity. Diner's 4 factors. Le Bon's crowd theory, and Zimbardo's research. AO2, 4 marks. Apply to real life, the London riots and football crowds. Explain how anonymity and shared responsibility increase aggression. AO3, 6 marks. Evaluate. Use supporting studies, Zimbardo, Watson, Mullen, and contradictory evidence, Johnson and Downing. Include methodological and debate points, and mention real-world applications. A clear structure like that would achieve a top Band 4 response. Pause for 30 seconds while students plan. Outro music. Calm recap theme fades in softly. Before we wrap up, let's summarize the key takeaways. De-individuation explains aggression as a loss of personal identity and self-awareness within groups. It's increased by anonymity, group size, arousal, and altered consciousness. Evidence generally supports it, but findings like Johnson and Downing show it depends on group norms. And finally, the theory has real-world relevance, helping us design safer crowds and more effective policing strategies. Well done for completing today's session. You've covered AO1, AO2, and AO3. And you're ready to tackle the 16-mark essay. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Outro music. Fade out slowly.